It's Bumpy Brain, but it ain't fucking Gabe and Corey. No, we've got a special edition. We've got the Indianapolis Day on Bumpy Brain. My buddy
Oh yeah.
Andy, my best friend I've never met.
That's true. We have never met in person.
No, my wife, not that long ago was like, "You've never met Andy, huh?" And I was like, "No, I have not ever met
Mm.
him in person." She was like, "What the fuck is that about?" I don't know. I don't know. We're fucking dummies, I guess. I don't know what
We're
happened.
adults who can't figure out how to adult and make it
Yeah,
actually happen.
we're two ships passing in the night. That's how it is.
Yeah,
We've
for
been on
sure.
that fucking rambling road for a little while, so
Oof, we've been up and down.
fuck. Annie Hooter. You are also a great guest to have because you watch a lot of different shit. You're like me.
Hmm.
Like my favorite shit back in the day was when I would come home from school and fucking what was it? Pardon the interruption was on.
Yes.
Love that shit. And
TI, love that.
oh, dude, and so all
Classic.
that and they would talk about everything. They'd be like, today at Wimbledon. And so I would be
Yeah.
like, even shit I don't care about, like sports wise, I tangentially follow. Like I was like marking out getting the fucking ESPN notifications about the fucking
Yeah.
players the other week. I was like, this is dope. I don't care about golf at all, but all right, this guy won. That's cool, you know. And I feel like you're the same way. And ESPN was
Yeah.
so big on like this is. I feel like this is a shill for ESPN. It is not, but you can fucking pay me if you want to pay me.
We'll
Uh,
take your money.
yeah, please. But Sports Center too. They were really good about like top 10 plays and it would be like fucking field hockey and shit.
It was such a different layout and such a different presentation back in the day. It was actually more like
Yeah.
news oriented and stuff like that. It had that news desk kind of feel. It was just all sports and it was pretty much everything sports guys like us, sports heads like us wanted to listen to. And obviously, guys that were older than us, like our dad's age and shit. My dad didn't watch it. He wasn't into sports, but
Mine either.
people like that who were, in their 20s, 30s, and 40s at the time when we were just growing up, they were all about it. We kind of rubbed up against it a little bit, just enough to where we were like, okay, and we have that experience because we're old. But
Yeah, we're all
other
good.
than that, man, yeah, that was what got us introduced. You're right, and that's what kind of got us trailed off into these different, sports and these different avenues of sports.
Yeah, man. It's like how I always sort of like tangentially sort of followed the NHL, but I never
Hmm.
watched a full game for years. My buddy Gabe
Oh,
is another guy. He's a I hate to say this, but he's a Anaheim fan, and I just remember very vividly, and he'll laugh watching this shit because he will watch it because he's fucking crazy like us, and he's like,
better Gabe.
good. Oh, he'll watch it. He'll fucking watch it. He'll be like, hell yeah. But I just remember him being at my house, like, God, it must have been like 10, 11 years ago. And he was like, bro, come on. The hockey game's on. Let's fucking put hockey on. And it was like Anaheim against some dickhead team, probably San Jose. So I definitely didn't care. And I was
Yeah.
just like, I don't know why I wasn't into it then. Then I got with my wife, and she was like, we used to go to Panthers games because we lived right by the rink. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we started watching the Panthers. And that was right before they started their run. And now I think hockey
Now they're
might,
really good.
fuck, dude, I think hockey might be my favorite sport. And I'm not even being
Really,
funny.
that's cool.
It's either okay. Well, football is definitely my favorite, but I think hockey is very close now. I watch so much hockey now. What I love about hockey is it's a lot like soccer in the sense that you can really have it on in the background if you
Yeah.
need to, and you know what's up. Like I don't know how many times I'll have it minimized and I'll be watching. Wrestling or something dumb, or
Mhm.
really lately it's fucking lol cows. So,
Oh, wow.
oh yeah,
That's something else.
yeah, I've lost my mind. So, but I love it, man, and I'll watch so much hockey, and a lot of that was from ESPN. Though I wouldn't have known anything about hockey without that, because Like I just remember like the Lightning when they won their first shit, and I always hated the Lightning. Thank God they fucking lost, but we'll get to that in a second. But this is the time of year traditionally that I get really into basketball. And it is the time of year again that I'm really into basketball. And it's interesting because your Pacers, as a 6 seed, is kind of making the Bucks look foolish quite a bit. I know it's a close one. It's 3-2 right now. They got a
I was
chance
gonna say
tonight.
that last game win, that was
Mm-hmm.
ugly.
That was
Pacers
rough.
just didn't want any part of that one, which disappoint me because, you know, you had Giannis out, you had Dame out, you had half their starting unit out
Yeah.
with injuries, and I told another buddy of mine down here who I recently got into touch with because he's a big sports nut too. I was like, man, I was like, if the Pacers let them off the hook here, Game Six could be trouble. I know they want to bring it
Yeah.
home to Game Six and try to beat them in Indy, maybe, but they should have tried to finish it off there. I'm not saying they didn't try, but it was a pitiful effort against the Bucks there, Game Five. Not good, but still have the lead, can still close it out. I'm
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
bring on the Knicks. Let's bring on the Knicks.
Dude,
Bring the
and
Knicks to Indy, and then I want them in MSG too. Let's go whoop their ass.
I'm right there with you, actually. I have been so intrigued by this Knicks Sixers. Let it take us off the screen here. This fucking Knicks Sixers matchup here is fascinating. I watched this game. I watched the last game the other night, and I just was like, you know what, man? This is beautiful ass basketball. It's like two very evenly matched teams. The Sixers are a fucking mess, too, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're a
yeah,
total
no, they
fucking
are.
mess, dude. And
Yeah,
I'm with you. I want the Knicks to win this thing. I looked right at Carrie the other night and I said, I can't believe I actually want a New York sports team to win. But I do. I want them to beat Philly. And I definitely want them to go play y'all because I
yeah,
just want them to be put away.
yeah. I think it would be. Oh, it would be such great. Oh, it would taste so sweet if we could go in there, beat New
Mm-hmm.
York, take them out,
Yeah.
and then freaking end up going into what would that be, the semifinals of the Eastern Conference
Yeah,
at that
let's zoom
point?
into
No,
this sucker and
or would
see.
that be the finals? No, for the East that would be the semis, because then we would have to go and play the. What am I? I'm trying to look because you've got the bracket pulled up
I
there.
know.
What it?
I'm trying to figure out how to fucking.
Go to conference semifinals there.
There we go. See, I'm half retarded here. All right, here we go.
That should
Oh, I know
show
what
it.
happened. Here we go. I zoomed in too much. That's what really happened.
Oh, okay, you have it zoomed. I see.
All right, let's go.
Yes.
Conference.
So
Yeah, it would be so for Bucks and you.
so
Yeah,
it'd be us and then
yeah,
and then them. Dude, yeah. If we go and we beat the Knicks and we go to the Eastern Conference finals at that point,
yeah.
oh yeah, I'm feeling it. I'd be feeling it.
I think that's a.
I just don't know, man. I just don't know if we can do it. I don't know if we've got that mentality, honestly, because that's what I saw in Game Five was
Mm-hmm.
they kind of didn't seem to want it, and they kind of didn't seem to really have it at that critical juncture when it was time to really put it out there. So
Right. Yeah,
to be
dude.
determined, but that's what's cool is honestly, people complain about the NBA a lot nowadays, saying, "Oh, there's too much scoring. Oh, there's not enough defense." Whatever. There's still plenty of defense. There's still plenty of feistiness.
Yeah.
I think this playoff year has shown that, if anything, uh, teams are they're fucking gritty and they want to get in there and they want to win because
Yeah.
now Golden State's out of the picture. Lakers out of the picture. All these favored teams that were favored, and all
Yeah.
these teams with these stars that have been coming in year after year, beating everyone's ass. You've got Boston now starting to become a power again. You've got New York a power again. It's starting to look a little bit more like the '90s, but
Yeah.
this time we're all scoring 120 points a game instead of
Yeah.
90.
Yeah, that 118 to 84 against the Heat. Holy shit, to sweep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, this is my whole thing about the year, and I know I have the hat on, and I'm the most ridiculously biased human of all time. But
What is your hat? I can't see it.
it is actually Boston, brother.
Oh,
It's the Boston man. Hell yeah. The
you and my buddy
Patty,
Carter are marks for
dude.
Boston for some reason.
But here,
I'll say this: the only thing that Boston ever had going for them was Larry Bird. That's it.
and that's
Who,
why it
by the
is.
way, where was he
Yeah,
born?
French
Indiana.
Lick, Indiana.
That's right.
Where the fuck is
That's right.
French Lick? Do you know where it's at?
Uh,
Do we got to Google Maps this motherfucker?
Yeah, I couldn't point it out on a map.
Oh
I
God,
was
you know what? Let's
brutally honest.
actually
I
Google
should.
Maps this. This is
That's
funny as
shameful.
fuck.
I should know, but I don't.
French
I've never.
Lick.
Have I
That's
been
my
to it?
favorite shitty name. Oh no, everyone's gonna see my porn history. Not.
Oh,
Yeah. Ain't gonna get me. All right, let's see here. French
it
Lick. You know,
is. What is it? Northeast of Indianapolis? Yeah,
we're about
kind of
to
towards Ohio.
we're about to
It
find out. I
appears.
think you're right. Yeah. You're the Indiana man, so you're gonna know. Let's
Because
pull
there's
this
like
up
nothing
here.
else up there. There's like Tippecanoe and like nothing.
Of course, there's nothing up here. Good Lord, system. Slower than
Chugga, chugga, chugga,
Christmas
chugga,
and
chugga, chugga.
yeah. I just want to see where you're at, brother. That dude,
So good.
for one, for sure. All woods. Nothing but woods here.
Yeah.
Amazing. So I don't know why I can't just fucking zoom out. But okay. Either way, French Lick, there it is.
Cool.
It's a piece of shit.
Nice to
So
see it.
that really
Yeah,
kind of,
yeah.
you know, it is what it is.
I did that.
Yeah. So Boston. So it's funny because I became a Boston fan literally because they were the worst team on whatever year the NBA game was for PlayStation 1. That was the Antoine Walker era, by the way. So
Oh no.
that is why I love Boston. I actually loved Boston because they were awful when I was a
Mm.
kid. What you're talking about, it was post Larry, mid to late 90s. Not a lot going on back then for Boston. So it's crazy. And I didn't know they had all this history either, legitimately. I was just like, Boston, whatever, cool. Green and white's dope. Celtics, that's weird. I don't know. Racist. All right, cool. But and I it fucking it worked out, I got to see them win the well, I didn't see it live, but I got to watch it on TV, the 2008 championship against the Lakers. So beautiful. Seeing Kobe all sad was awesome. I know, R.I.P. But fuck him. So this year, I feel like we gotta win it. I think that we're in a situation where it's like the Niners. We've been bridesmaids too much lately. We have not delivered. We have not executed. I'm tired of being the team. Well, I mean, they're the best in the East, but, Denver, but, the Lakers, but, fuck all that. It's time to win one. I think that's the only thing with Boston, man, is so many years we get here and we're 1 or 2 seed and we look dope and we choke in the playoffs. We get to like round 2 and we suck, or we get to the championship and we suck, and it's like that's whatever. I wanted to get the monkey off our back with Miami too, because I'm still salty about when they got to the finals. What was it, the COVID year they
Yeah.
got to the finals or whatever?
Yeah.
On our back.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. I was just gonna say that,
Yeah.
fucking the Celtics, you're right. It was just kind of assumed. It's just kind of, well, we'll see them in the finals versus whoever, so
Yeah.
cool. So to actually have them see, go have a little bit of a struggle with the Heat was actually kind of cool because it just kind of goes to show you with the NBA, you have 7 games to prove it. It's not just one like in the regular season. You get 7 games. You know what I mean? If you can beat someone in 4, okay,
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, that just goes to show you it can really the regular season only matters so much. In the postseason, you've got injuries, you've got momentum. Heat's a big thing, and I don't mean Miami, but
Right.
having momentum, that's a big deal. So if teams can do that and continue to build upon it, they can have a real shot in the playoffs. It doesn't matter what your rank is.
No, and that's the beauty of it. It's like the March Madness thing where like you really have to be
Yeah.
very uh, aware that at any time, regardless of what your seed is, regardless of who you
Yeah.
are, you can lose, man. You can
Oh
absolutely
yeah.
get embarrassed. And I mean, you have no one to blame but you. So I'm glad that we got through the heat because I really thought that was a trap situation that could have easily happened.
Yeah.
I'm very nervous, to be fair, regardless of who wins the Cleveland Orlando situation, because I think
Hmm.
those are the two sleeper teams. That's why, what a
Yeah.
beautiful little situation where they landed against each other. And I think Orlando's going to win this game 6. I think it will go to 7. I think
Me.
they're very evenly matched.
Yeah, they are very evenly matched.
Yep.
Both are very young squads. Both are very talented squads. Obviously, that's why they are where they are. Yeah, I think either I think it could go either way. I was kind of surprised Cleveland got out front. I kind of predicted Orlando to win the series as well. But it's anybody's series on that one for sure.
I just think I look at the Heat and they're very young, but they're determined, and they go so well together. Like they
Hmm.
just it's weird. And again, biased, love Anthony Black. Hogs, that was awesome when they picked him up in the draft, and I think he's a great addition. And he's the perfect guy to bring into a situation where you've already have pieces because he is selfless. Like he
Hmm.
doesn't mind dishing it. He doesn't care about that. I think that the Cavs, though, at the end of the day, I think of that game 7 possibly. I do think they get the edge, though. I think Donovan Mitchell is so good, man.
Oh, he's
He's
ridiculous.
so
I was
good.
shocked when the Jazz let him go. I was like, okay. And he went to Cleveland of all places. So, hey, whatever,
Yeah.
man. That's the NBA.
So yeah, I don't know. I just I am nervous, but I do think the Celtics beat the Cavs or the Magic. I just do. Uh, I think that they are a better team than that team, but I do think that they'll give us a good series.
Yeah, I think anybody who comes out of that series, whether it's the Cavs or the Magic, will give the winner a serious challenge for sure.
Yep.
Nothing's coming easy in the playoffs, no matter who you're playing.
No. But then I want to look at this because this is the fucking part that has me all discombobulated. What the fuck is the West doing? I
Dude, the
mean,
West has been crazy this year. It's been,
dude, like,
yeah,
how are the
a lot of crazy shit.
Thunder the number one? By the way, I'm a big Thunder guy. Full
Okay,
disclosure, love them. I could not believe, because again, I just kind of whatever follow them throughout the actual season. And once it got to playoff time, I was like, hold on, Oklahoma City's number one seed in the whole West? What the fuck happened in the West? And apparently everyone just was really good together, is what it looks like.
yeah,
A lot of
yeah,
weird records, I guess.
yeah. Lot less. Is it more or less parity? If the
More.
teams are more, yeah, because teams are
Yeah.
more, they're more closely the same.
Like,
Uh, as far as talent level in the West. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the Thunder and you look at Chet at center, you look
yeah.
at what's his name? Oh God, I should know. What is it? Shy Alexander,
Oh, yeah. Shy
the guard
Gilchrist, I think is his name.
for the
Yeah.
yeah, the guy who plays for the Thunder there, their point guard. If you look at those two positions, point guard and center, that's where they've got it locked up.
Yeah, dude. And they
Because
have it
Chet,
together.
everybody was arguing Chet against Wimby for Rookie of the Year. They're like, well, he's like been doing just as well, but Wimby's getting all the all the shine because
Yeah, he's the next
nobody's
star.
on that team. Yeah,
Exactly.
and I mean, he's a hell of a talent. Don't get me wrong, but I've seen him play live. But you know, at the same time, he's got no one around him, so of course he's going to shine. Of course he's going to look great. It's better. It's different though. That's why Chet to me would have actually got the Rookie of the Year because even if his numbers weren't, and I don't have them in front of me, so I don't know. Even if his numbers weren't, you know, that close or whatever to me because of what he did in the team on top of the numbers and on top of everything else. That's what to me puts Chet over the edge for me. And it's not just because I'm a San Antonio hater. I swear it's not.
Right. No,
Oh,
I
I am.
agree, man.
But no, no, seriously though, I think the way he fit into that team and took them to the next level. Because yeah, I mean, Shy, he took a next step, and he's obviously grown into a superstar. But if you don't have Chet on that team, man, you're not competing in the West. You got to have big guys out there. You got AD, you got Wimby,
Yeah.
you've got all these guys that play for teams out there in the West, and they're they're damn good guys. They're solid. You know what I mean? The East is just now catching up when it comes to big men.
Oh yeah, the East has kind of gotten away with the shooters. You know what I mean? Like,
Everybody's been playing small ball out in the East,
yeah, yeah,
especially Boston.
and that is why Denver was able to come in and win a championship. All they had to do was win the West, and they knew it. I knew, man. I knew when they fucking beat the Lakers last year and got through. I was like, fuck, they're gonna win the whole thing,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
because we were so outmatched, man, so outmatched. And I think this year, I hope we've gotten more physical. That's the only chance I have. We'll get into what I think about what the Nuggets do down the road because I think they're going to have a bit of a speed bump coming. Um, but I'll tell you, this is what I would be interested to hear about. Where do you think this Clippers Mavs series ends? Because I don't know, man. It's kind of all over the place right now.
It has been all over the place. I mean, coming in, you would look at it and say, well, Clippers may be the better all around team, but Dallas, man, they've got fucking what they've got that kid in the fucking backfield. They've got that alien, dude. You're not touching him, man.
Yeah.
Everybody, he's the fucking
Oh yeah.
Superman from Spain. You know what I mean? That kid is special, and everybody's
Yeah, dude.
recognizing it and stuff now. But dude, if you don't have him on Dallas, again, same thing. They're not there.
Yeah.
They'd be fighting for a lottery pick in the draft.
Oh, absolutely, man. They have totally
So,
transformed with him.
I mean, if you so you can't really count Dallas out with him, but at the same time, Clippers are just so solid in the middle there and up front.
Yeah.
It's so hard to go against them. I don't like the Clippers, but
Oh no, no one likes the
it's too damn
Clippers except for
talented.
like
It's almost like
who the fuck even does like the Clippers actually?
maybe some people from LA. I guess people who don't like the Lakers,
Yeah.
maybe.
It's not like Mets fans, I guess. Yeah, I guess they're the Mets
They are
fans
sort
of
of like Mets fans. That's a
oh,
great analogy.
dude.
That's a very good analogy.
Like never won one. Clippers have never won one, guys. Good lord.
Mhm.
That's wild, dude.
They've always been little brother in the city.
Always. That would be,
Always.
you think about it, how poetic would that be, though, if they got far? But I don't, dude, I think, here's the thing. It's like with the Celtics on the other side. Regardless
Hmm.
if this is Dallas or fucking LA, they're losing to OKC. I think OKC's
Yeah.
hot. They're younger. I think their pace is so much quicker than what either of those teams are going to be able to pull off. I think maybe Dallas, with Luca, I could see it. You know what I mean? Like he could kind
Yeah.
of maneuver, but that's one dude, man. And I think, like you're saying, Dallas really they got to be careful because they don't want to fall into the trap of, well, like the Marino thing, where well we've got Luca, we've got
Yeah.
Dan.
We've got
Let's
Lucas, so we're there.
Right. Let's neglect offense when it's like, yeah, but brother can't just conceivably score
No,
45 points a game every game, bro. Like
no.
you need some shooters, you need some guys in the mid-range, like you need big guys that can score along with
Hmm.
that. So, yeah, man, I don't it might very well be Clippers time, man. I don't know. They like you said, they're
I
pretty
think Clippers
solid.
are going to move on.
I do
I think
too.
Clippers advance.
Yep.
But if Dallas wins, I sure won't be complaining.
I'll tell you, maybe I'm just out of the loop. I was shocked that Minnesota beat the Suns in four. Good God.
Not in four. Not in four. Nobody saw four. If anybody predicted them winning, it was probably six,
Sure.
maybe five if you're a genius. But dude, nobody had them doing that. Anthony
No.
Edwards, he just took another level up.
He
That kid.
really did, dude. He's been sitting there in the
Everybody was
wings.
raving about when Luka Doncic took his steps up, and he's become
Yeah.
the guy he is now as far as a team leader and the guy for the team. That's what
Yeah.
Anthony Davis just did this year. Or not Anthony Davis, excuse me, Anthony Edwards. That's what Anthony Edwards just did this year.
That's
That
fucking
guy,
crazy, dude.
the swag, and confidence and the skill, and with what he's backing it up with on the court.
Yeah,
That
bro.
guy, we haven't seen that. And I don't listen. I don't want to put him in an air that he might not necessarily be in yet.
Right.
But dude, with these performances and what he's done as far as carrying the team and getting up in KD's face and saying but and KD, he couldn't do nothing but just kind of laugh
What are you
because
gonna
he knew he was
say?
getting his ass kicked. Yeah, he knew he
Yeah.
was getting his ass kicked. And but with Anthony Edwards doing this shit and getting in his face,
Yeah.
that's KD. You know what I mean? That's KD.
Yeah,
I
dude.
mean, granted, people can say whatever they want about KD. He's soft. He's never won. Whatever. That's KD. He's a superstar. He's one of the pillars of the league to a lot of people for a reason. He's a star.
Oh
He's
yeah,
good.
man.
He's
He's
not
gonna
a
go
shit
down.
player.
Yeah, he's gonna
And
go
but with
down and
Anthony Edwards fucking chopping him down to size and basically
yeah.
relegating him to just being a fucking tent pole, just a fucking stake in the grass, just pounding him into the dirt. Yep, you're just gonna fucking stay here.
Dude.
I My mouth was agape. I was like, and I watched a couple of those games, and I was like, dude, this
Me
guy,
too.
what is he doing right now? Is this Kobe? Am I watching Kobe right now? Is that what this is? Because
Yeah, man.
and again, say all this shit about Kobe you want, deserved or not, dude.
Sure.
As far as the
Oh,
swag,
dude, Kobe's
the
swag was on
dominance,
another level, buddy. I
and the
mean,
dominance,
yeah.
as far as like taking that team and saying, "Come with me, guys."
Ask the Raptors how dominant he fucking is. You know.
He's that guy. He's that
Yeah,
guy,
bro.
and that's what Anthony Edwards is doing right now. And I'm happy for him. I'm
Fuck,
shocked and
dude.
amazement in a good way. I
Yeah.
God, that guy, he might be my favorite player in the league right now to watch. And that's
Dude, he
probably over Halliburton. And that's saying a lot.
wow, that is saying a whole lot because I have been very impressed with Halliburton. Actually, I have
Yeah.
been very impressed with him.
Halliburton's that guy too, but
Yeah,
Anthony Edwards, man, he's been doing something different.
it's crazy, dude. And that's what I was getting at earlier about Denver. It's hard for me to look at what Minnesota's doing and not be like, I mean, I think
Something's
you,
cooking up there.
yeah, I think they got something
Something's
going
cooking up
down.
there.
Yeah, man. So I really think they could do it. I think they could beat Denver and make it very, very interesting. I think Thunder, though, they're a lock in that West championship. I really do. I think it's going to be hard for them
They're
to,
gonna be
to.
really hard to beat.
They're hard to beat and just.
They're gonna be really hard to
They
beat.
got it, man. They're that team right now. They're hot. They're just like Denver to me last year. Like, they're just. Every time they're in adversity, I'm like, nah, they got it, man. I don't know why. Like, weird.
Who is your championship pick out of everybody right now? Who are you
Like,
picking to win a title?
overall,
As things stand right now, yes.
well, I'll go further and give you my finals uh, matchup. I think it's gonna be. I want to say Celtics OKC because I love both teams,
Okay.
but I do think this Thunder thing is a little premature. I think they're young. I think they are good, but it's like that year when Carolina in the NFL went 15-1 in the Super Bowl. It's like, okay, but you're not at that level. And
Not quite.
I feel that with Oklahoma City. I just do. I think I feel like Minnesota takes them. And I think it's
Yeah.
going to be Boston Minnesota final and I think Boston gets the win. I think it will be probably an interesting series. I don't think we sweep. I think it's a 6 game situation. I could see it. Five maybe if we're playing hard. Probably though. I think 6 because Minnesota's very good. And what the thing is Towns is the X factor. He's
Yep.
so good in the paint and he's such
Yep.
a great, him and Edwards together is the scary part now because at first it was like it was Carl Anthony Towns and everyone else was just around.
Yeah.
Now it's like We have
Now there's two
we
threats.
have our Shaq Kobe combo, and that's not good. You know what I mean?
No.
Granted, Denver does too, right? They got Murray and Joker, but I don't know, man. Minnesota's feeling special this year, and it's all about the year. People
They
always
are.
forget that. Doesn't matter like
Yep.
all time. You just need to be great one year and get that
That's,
ring and get the
that's what I was
fuck out.
talking about.
And
You can
get the
you
fuck out,
The
man.
playoffs are a different season. Basically
Yes.
start over once the playoffs begin.
Look at
It's
the
a
Stanley
whole
Cup,
different
which
thing.
we'll get into in a second. Remember
Same
last
deal.
year, man?
Same
Come
deal.
on.
Yep, same deal.
Who do you
So
got?
I think until Denver can be knocked off that pedestal, I think until someone beats the man, they're still the man.
Yeah.
So I think until somebody beats them, that's it.
Yeah, I get that.
They still proven to be too strong, too formidable. If Minnesota does it, hats off to them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if Boston can do it. I think Boston showed they can do it with their talent. They're good enough to do it. That's why they're the number one seed.
Yeah.
I just don't know. We'll have to see because I don't think they showed enough there. They came too close. They from the
Yeah.
brink. They almost lost it. So
Yeah.
we'll see though. They're a damn good team. I think it'll be them and Denver in the finals.
Yeah, man. I see that. I think that makes a whole lot of sense. And it's all
I
about how
think
you
I think
finish, man.
Denver repeats though.
Yeah, that's going to be hard,
Hmm.
dude. It's like you
Hmm.
said, it's going to be hard to beat them.
That crowd's up for it. That team still looks the same.
Yep.
We'll see.
Let's get into my
Somebody
favorite.
could beat them, but we
We're going
will
to get into
see.
my favorite thing ever right now, which is the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Let's do it.
And again, I am absolutely biased because, as you can see, my Florida Panthers, not only number one seed, swept Tampa
Dominating.
in Sunrise. The Rats were all over the ice,
Oh yeah.
6-1. That's like losing 42-7 in football. They got fucking
Yeah.
massacred. And by the way, fuck the Lightning. Fuck every Lightning fan out there. I'm fucking putting my fucking flag in this motherfucker. And you know what? I might actually make the thumbnail of this show on YouTube the fucking Stanley mascot putting a flag down on the Lightning fucking arena. Anyway, so they're in.
Sure.
They're in there. They're waiting. Oh God, I just saw this. I have not looked at this actually down here. Rangers and Hurricanes is a lock now. Hurricanes did sweep the
Yeah, that's
Islanders.
gonna be nuts. That's gonna be a good game, good series there.
That's gonna be sick. I will say right now, I think. I think the Rangers are hard to beat right now, though, man. I think I might have Rangers winning that thing, but it's gonna be close. I think I could see that a 5 or 6er. And then on the West, fucking Colorado, dude. They find a way. I hate
They
Colorado maybe more than any in
they're
NHL
so
team.
talented up front.
So
God.
good. Unbelievably good. We've got the fucking playoff series no one asked for. The Canucks Predators over here, 3-2 van. I mean, it's
Mhm.
going to be Canucks. But it is the Canucks. They do choke. Edmonton, of course. That was close though with the Kings. That's I would be very nervous.
Yeah,
But it's
that was a
5.
little too close. I was an Oilers fan.
Yeah, so I see Canada all the way down here. I got Oilers, Canucks on that, and then as for that, I mean, come on. I know it's Dallas 3-2. It's going to be Golden Knights Avalanche.
I
I do
hope
believe.
not, man.
Really?
I'm so sick. Yeah, I hate the everybody jumping on the Vegas bandwagon.
Oh,
It's
dude,
so
me
annoying.
too. Because here's the thing about Vegas. All right, full disclosure. When I
Dude, they're
first,
like 3 years old as a
yeah,
team.
yeah.
Like
Uh,
what? And I'm
so
sorry, NHL. I understand you want to give these new teams, you know, a little boost in the competition, and you want to make them relevant, immediate. You know, you don't want them to just be the team that is a new team and doesn't have anybody good on it, so everybody just fucking pancakes them. I understand NHL, but hear me out. The idea that a new team just gets to cherry pick. Now, granted, these teams have to kind of put these guys up, for availability for whatever reasons, whether it's
mm,
salary, blah blah, whatever. But at the
yeah,
same time, it's like you get to basically just have really good dudes on on off every team. You basically get to get one of their best guys off every team and build a team off of that. Well, no shit, they won a Stanley Cup in like 2 years. No shit. Duh. I
Right.
could too.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Yeah,
You could, as GMs, anybody could. That's not
dude.
hard. That's not team building.
That is a
Ooh,
strange
Vegas.
thing.
Why are we
Major
rooting
League,
for them? For what?
yeah, Major League Baseball does that too, and I always thought that was weird.
Yeah. I mean, well, for
Yeah,
baseball, I understand just because of the talent level there. There's not as much parity, but
sure. In hockey,
come
though,
on, dude. Like,
yeah,
they're a brand new team. It's fucking Vegas.
right.
So it's like, of course, you've got built-in tourism fans. You've got a built-in, like, they don't, I don't know. I just don't agree with the system. Maybe I'm just being a little mopey bitch because I'm a Red Wings fan and we haven't won in forever. But to
I
me, I
mean,
think that the
I
system's a little
wasn't, I wasn't
crooked.
even gonna go there with the Red Wings, but I mean, we
Hey
can,
man,
I
I'll throw it
guess.
up there. It's fine.
Oof.
That's fine. I'll put my business out there.
So
Not all
for
my teams can be great.
no, and your Pacers are on a run right now, so let's see.
Hmm.
Hopefully, they finish that run. So me with the Golden Knights. So to be fair, actually, when I first started getting into hockey, my wife and I were about to get married in Vegas, and
Hmm.
we were into the Golden Knights, buddy. Like that was
I know.
before Florida's thing. They were terrible, and so
I get
we
it.
we watched them get to their first Stanley and lose to the Washington team that I really fucking hate, and I
Caps.
loved seeing them suck this year. That was beautiful.
I never had a problem with the Caps. I don't know why.
But
I don't like them,
then
but
she started like I think in watching the Golden Knights, and I think maybe in her own head she was like, "It's kind of unfair." Then she was like, "The Panthers." I remember the Panthers as a kid, and then it's sentimental. So then it's immediately
yeah,
like, "Yeah, we're into
that's
them."
better.
Yeah, and it's interstate, man. You know. And Vegas, they fucked us out of that Stanley Cup last year, so that kind of ended that. I was like, oh, nah, I don't like you anymore. So
Right.
yeah, I do though. I got Golden Knights abs on that, and overall, in the hockey, again, I know I'm biased, but I think in the East, man, it's going to be hard to beat the Panthers this year. I think they
It
go on
is.
again. The West is a tough one because I feel like Edmonton's finally doing what everyone wanted him to do for so long, which was like get far in a playoff with McDavid. He's been the heir apparent, right, forever, but like they don't have a fucking Stanley to say for it. But Canucks have been shocking this year. It's hard for me to get behind the fucking Canucks, man.
I can't do it.
Or
I can't do it. They
Nashville. I
have
don't.
such a shitty logo. Yeah, I definitely can't get behind Nashville, especially after living there. Fuck that.
Oh, I can't imagine. I
Fuck that.
honestly, as much as I hate it, I think Colorado might take the West again, and I could see Florida, Colorado. Because I don't know, man.
Maybe.
Avalanche.
I wouldn't hate that.
I wouldn't hate it either. It's something fresh. And of course, I got Florida winning it, man. I think it's a similar situation to the Celtics. Both of my teams in these different. It's similar right now where it's time to win one. You've
Yeah.
went and you've lost, and you know that now. Just I'll tell you though. Florida played the trade deadline better than anybody. And I think that's the
For
difference,
sure.
man. They added so much depth to their team, and
Yes.
I just feel like it's gonna be
They're
hard
gonna
to
be
beat
so
them,
hard to beat.
dude. I mean, I'll say this: I thought between us and Tampa, that was gonna pretty much decide the East, and I think I'll be right. So
Probably so.
we're going on to
Fuck Boston.
football. We're talking about your Colts.
Okay.
Overall, what do you grade your guys this
Ooh,
year?
like a letter grade?
Yeah,
I, I, I mean, I'm the homer, but I really think we did an A minus.
yeah, I agree.
B plus at the worst. You want to be really harsh on
Oh
it,
yeah,
just because they didn't grab any stars. But to be honest, the draft's so hard to predict and shit like that. Obviously, you can
yeah.
say this guy's a home run, this guy's that, this guy's that. Nobody knows. But the thing is I what I liked about what the Colts did was they addressed needs in the sense that they didn't pick positional needs. They picked depth
Yeah.
in the trenches, where motherfuckers are smashing together, getting hurt, getting grinded down. Some of our dudes are getting a little older. Some of them are getting near their 30s. So it's like, hey, let's pick up a couple young offensive linemen. People didn't like that. I thought it was stellar because
Oh, dude,
everybody
yes.
was neglecting the offensive linemen around that time of the draft because
I
everybody was
know.
playing catch up. And so the fact that you know, uh, we were racking up these guys instead of a lot of the skill position guys, I didn't understand. And I'll admit, when the draft was happening live, I was like,
Yeah.
why didn't we grab X, Y, or Z? They were still sitting there. But at the same time,
Yeah.
everybody does that. But then when you sit back and you look at the draft as a whole and what they did, and then you dig in a little more and you see these guys on tape and what they actually did, like at their schools and like playing, and you hear the talk and shit, it's like, oh, okay, we smashed it. We nailed this out of the park. All these guys seem like they're no bullshit guys. They're not going to be in causing drama, causing problems. They love ball. They're hard nosed guys. They're going to come in and work their fucking ass off every week,
Yeah.
every day. And I, I, I really don't have anything to complain about. I really don't. I mean, like I said, if people want to complain, oh, they should have went for a high end cornerback instead of D end. Look, I get it, but at the same time, it's like if you look at what this D end did, 22 and a half sacks, there, man, buddy, with a fucked up neck allegedly. I mean, dude, I understand if you wanted to rate Dallas. What was his last name? The kid from Bama. Um, I
Oh,
understand if you
Dallas
wanted to put
Turner.
Dallas Turner. That's it. I
Yep.
understand if you wanted to put him higher as like a positional rank thing. I
Right.
cool, great, but this guy had way better production. And this guy I think from a character standpoint, I think from a I don't know, just as far as a fit, that
Yeah.
dude fits.
No, I like
That dude
Latu,
fits what
man.
we want to do. I
Dude,
love Latu.
they gave him a 92 grade. That is a top 20 pick. They did a wonderful job. In fact, I would say that's a top 10 graded pick. You know what I mean? Like, you got your
Yeah,
value. You got your
yeah,
value at
I think so.
15. And then another one, dude, and this is the one that I literally scratch my head at why anyone questions this one. Adonai Mitchell at receiver. They graded him 88 on ESPN, right? And they were usually pretty accurate. He was a late second rounder. He dropped that far. I think
Pick
this guy,
52.
yeah, dude. I think you want to talk about a chip on shoulder guy next year, a guy that's going to come out and be like, fuck you. It's Adonai Mitchell,
Yes,
dude. He's going to come
yes,
out, whatever they ask him to do, he's going to be like, not a problem at all. He is going to fucking be a dog. Just like I think Ricky
yes.
Purcell for my Niners is going to be because everyone's saying the same thing about him. Why the fuck did you get a
Yeah,
receiver? You got like, because
yeah,
I'm sure they're saying it about y'all, right? You have Michael
mhm,
Pittman. You got this
yeah.
guy. Why do you need another guy? Because you can never have too many guys. Look at what
No,
happened to my Niners, man. We did not have a quarterback ready when Brock went down, and we lost literally only because of that. So I
yeah.
think it's a wonderful pick. Like you said,
Thank you. Yeah,
is it grabbing the position you necessarily need at the moment? No. I mean, you need to get a tight end, you need to get another corner. But I mean, you did get a corner out of Marshall, and sometimes that guy might be enough. You just don't know. I think a lot of these guys too. I think I agree with you. By the way, I think the Colts draft. I mean, you got what you needed. You also here's what's important to me. You didn't fall into that hype of next guy up.
yep. No,
That's it, man. I think that makes the biggest difference.
yeah. And these teams that take these huge swings on these guys, I think that's where you lose because
Yeah.
you're giving up draft capital to get there, so that's another player, that's another
Yeah.
you know position, who knows where, whatever. But those are guys you could potentially need. And I think what's so smart about what Ballard did was he lulled everybody into thinking, you know, we're going to trade out of the first round. We're not going to do anything. We're not doing this. He does this every year.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like an old cowboy or an old gunslinger or something. That's what he reminds me of.
Oh
Everybody
yeah,
thinks he's
he's
done.
great.
Everybody thinks he's a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And then he walks out of the draft room like, did I not just kill it? Like, what? Like, what are you guys gonna bitch about
I
now?
mean,
You know?
I'll say this, man. In two drafts, your Colts look better off both years. I mean, any
Yeah,
anybody could have had the injury that happened to Richardson. It's not even that big of a deal to
yeah.
me. I don't know why
And the
everyone's
kid's
being
coming
like,
back better
fucking
this year. He's gonna be a
bust.
tank.
What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
no. He
Nah,
got
man.
hurt. Kid's a tank.
Yeah.
That kid's a tank, dude. If you look at him and
Yeah.
how big he is and how physical he is, that kid's a hoss. That kid's gonna come in this year, and even if he doesn't like run as much scrambling this year, which I think he will, but even if
Yeah.
he doesn't do that as much, his physical tools are elite level. He's got a cannon arm. And people are like, oh, well, he's not accurate. He doesn't, he's unproven. There's a difference between not having the
Yeah.
skill and not being proven to shown the skill in which you possess. That's a huge difference. I don't think he's had the chance. He only had,
Mm-mm.
he had very limited showings at Florida, you know, again
Yeah.
because of inexperience. But
Well, he
if you
only
look at him,
started.
he's coachable. He's coming in kicking ass. As a rookie, I thought he did outstanding. People
He
were
did
talking about him
amazing.
for rookie of the year before he got hurt.
Yeah, I think he was on that trajectory. I mean, him, C.J. Stroud, right there. I will say this: I'm in a unique position because I watched him in college on most of his
That's right.
starts because Gators. I said early on with him that he was special. I was like, dude, whoever gets him is getting a fucking dog. Sometimes you just see it in people. I don't need
Mm-hmm.
to see your skill set to know you're going to get it because you just pick up on things. He's very smart. He's not going to pull that shit that Tua did where he just has that pride, not go down shit. I think he'll be
No.
smart. He knows it's about money. He
Yeah.
understands that longevity gets you more money. Look at what everyone finally figured out with Tom Brady. The genius in Brady wasn't how good he was, it was how much he conserved himself while doing the most. There's something to that. And I think everyone's finally like, oh, you don't give it 100% on every play. That's not what that saying means. It means, dude, do what you can. And what you can't do, don't do. You never saw Tom Brady running around like an idiot because he knew he couldn't do that. He's not an improvised guy. He's a read the fucking field, get the ball to somebody guy. He's not taking off. And if you can do that, dope. But if you can do that and get hurt every time you do that, don't do that. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think he'll be so much better next year. He's going to be like Tua was this last year in the sense
Oh,
of like he's going to
taking
get
that next
way
step.
higher. Yeah,
And
and
he's got more
then
weapons. He's got more than just,
way more.
Pittman to throw to this year.
Yeah, I thought this was wonderful. Our
I
boy
know you did.
Ryan Garcia, the biggest troll on the internet. Fucking oh god, there's so
Pops.
much to this
Twice.
guy, dude. What an
Twice.
idiot.
There's two
What an
samples say something.
idiot. I
Here's the
watched
thing.
yeah,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. I was just gonna say I watched this fight. I thought it was masterful. I
Yeah.
immediately knew something was up when he was 3 pounds over at weigh in. I was like, what a fucking idiot. So you can't even win the belt. What a shit deal. I thought that sucked. And I hated his little weird social media shit he was doing. Like, bro, all right. Like, I get it. He's trying to get eyes on boxing again, but it's like, all right, cool, Ryan. And then now this shit, like, wow, dude. Wow.
The thing is you're either going to do one or two things. You're either going to look at this on the surface and you're going to either think, all right, yep, he's been cheating, he's taking steroids, is what it
Yeah.
is. Fuck him. Fuck this fight. Didn't count. Cool. Or if you're pro Garcia, you're going to be like, well, um, you know, this shit happens all the time. It's not a big deal. Whatever. We got the W. Fuck him. I'm
Sure.
neither of those.
Yeah, me too.
I
I think you just look
I
like a fucking bonehead.
yeah, I'm neither of those. Here's the deal. So boxing's complicated. Sports
Oh,
supplementation is
yes.
complicated. Um, there's And I'm not about to make an argument here for Ryan Garcia. I'm not going to do it. I don't really like Rye Guy just because
Come on,
he's not my
man.
Rye Guy.
No?
No, I don't like him. But anyways, there is precedent for supplements having not just this particular substance in it, but others as well. Tainted supplements happen all the time. Guys get popped from them all the time. All they got to do is just uh, submit whatever they were taking in for the fight or whatever, and they'll test all that shit and determine whether or not it was contaminated or whether or not something else was going on. Now, the interesting part is with this particular substance is it was pharmacy grade. So that pretty much means that if it did get in there via contamination, pretty interesting because that doesn't really normally happen. This is like pretty good stuff from what I understand of it. It's like a I would have to go back and read. I'm not going to sit here and make a fool of myself more than I already have. But as far as not knowing what the hell I'm talking about, but basically, it's like
Yeah.
it helps with endurance with this particular one. It helps with endurance and with recovery in regards to when
Gotcha.
you're training and stuff like that. That's pretty much what this does. So, and that again for combat sports, especially boxing, where you need a lot of cardio and shit like that, that's not uncommon for this kind of shit to happen. But um, we'll see. I think more testing is going to need to come out of it before we get a definitive answer whether or not he was actually cheating or not. Um, Ryan has made like Twitter posts saying like, "Oh yeah, if I actually took those steroids, I'm actually gay" or some shit like that, or whatever kind of ridiculousness. Like he's trying to like I don't know, trying to brush it off and sideswipe it. But I
Mm,
don't know, man. We'll see what happens with further testing. But
yeah.
yeah, fuck Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, I think he's a fucking jack off. He's the classic guy that fucking sucks. But he's good at
Oh, I meant
boxing.
to bring in one other thing too. Where you
Yes.
mentioned the 3 pound over the weight limit where he
Uh
missed
huh.
weight. So according to him, he was FaceTiming Floyd Mayweather after the fight, right?
Yeah.
This is a clip that's online. You can see it. He was FaceTiming Floyd Mayweather after the fight, and he
Hmm.
said, about the 3 pound thing. He was like Floyd knew what he was talking about. So this is a thing like boxers do, not regularly, but there is a such thing where if you miss weight by a certain amount, they're not going to let the fight continue. But if you only miss it by a little bit, up to a certain whatever it is, a
Hmm.
calculated range, whatever it is, if you miss it by a certain amount, they'll let the fight continue. But yeah, like you said, Haney didn't have to drop the belt, didn't have to put that up on the line or whatever, and Ryan had to put up a bunch of money or whatever. He had to forfeit part of his purse or
Good
pay some
God.
shit to Haney's camp. But according to him, that was calculated. He was
He's an
talking to
idiot.
Floyd and basically saying that he did it kind of on purpose. He called it an investment. So to me,
Wow.
that would indicate that he did do it on purpose. He did miss the weight on purpose.
Hmm.
And why? Well, so he would have an advantage when it came to rehydration. Because that's the other thing is when these guys go to make weight, they're not walking around at whatever 120, 130, 40 pounds, whatever. They don't normally walk around at that. Normal guys like you and I, only they're a bit more muscular. So what do they do? Like the guys in the UFC and MMA do, they dehydrate themselves to get rid of that water weight. That way, they don't have to actually lose any body mass or any crap like that. Water weight's the easiest weight to drag out of the body. That's the easiest weight to lose. So that's what these guys do a lot of times. But
Yeah.
so maybe, according to him, basically what he was alluding to was that it was an investment as to why he missed that weight by that
Mm,
amount
of course.
much. So
I bet.
yeah, so I think he
Cool,
did it on
Ryan.
purpose as far as missing the weight, so he would have an advantage at going into the fight. Whether or not that ties into this or not with his steroids,
Mm.
to be determined. But it sure does kind of lead a nice little convenient trail of cookie crumbles right to him. So we'll see.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Kind of interesting. Yeah, I thought so. You
So
know,
there you go.
it's just sad, dude. I wish boxing was less of this and more boxing because I thought the fight was tremendous. I was like, man, these guys are
It was.
great. Fucking dope. I am
That's
trying to
the
get
thing
back
with these
into.
guys. It's just business.
They're
It's the
just pieces
fucking
of shit, bro. It's
it's
sad.
ego. Yeah,
Yeah,
they are pieces of shit for the most part. You're right.
it's
And it's
very sad.
ego. It's money.
Yeah,
It's a
dude.
whole separate world they're living in.
It is. Well, shocking. I thought that was the perfect little end, right? Like,
Yeah.
fuck, dude. All right, well, thanks for showing up and talking fucking indie sports and how
No
boxing's pretty
problem.
much
Easy.
doomed and how everything's done and
I
it's fucking
wouldn't say it's
sweet.
doing, but boxing's been fucked up for a long time. It's
I
just a
know, dude.
matter of whether or not you want to
Fuck.
look at it or not. Most people just want to watch and enjoy the sport. I'm one of those people, but
Me too.
you know, if you know how the sausage is made, then you know it is
Yeah,
what it is.
it's just a work like fucking wrestling, brother. Trust me, guys. Like, that's just how boxing is. It's the first work, okay? The first work ever was a boxing match, I'm pretty sure, or a fucking wrestling match in the Parthenon. Um, Either way, I don't know if you have any fucking socials that you use, but if you do, plug them.
I have
Zero.
none.
You're a
You
smart
can't
man.
find me.
Smart man. You can find Andy sporadically on this show, I
You can
believe.
find me on the streets if you run into me, or
Yep.
walking around, or
Hell
here on
yeah,
the internet
bro.
somewhere if I show up.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. My dog's telling me to take her out, so I guess that's the end of the show. Until next
Cool.
time, go throw your money away on a bet.